So, that was back again. Little SPY update video. As always, I'm using this method for all the tracking. For more explanations, just watch the weekly recap video from yesterday. So, for SPY today, yeah. First of all, this was bad. So in the morning, it absolutely looked beautiful. This gap up here, and then this. Yeah. I mean, my pullback target was, as I showed, 669. Right now, 662 or 665 for the futures. Where are we? Still okay. I had this art, but my main tracking was in the other direction. So for this, I was wrong. But I changed some things. So for the complete overview, which is interesting, is that this whole thing, especially on SPX, this whole thing is one finished fractal, and we have our V here. That means that from 2029, and it's pretty obvious that a fractal is ending for SPY in a market crash. So from 2009 to 2020, this whole thing was just our higher low. And the crazy part now comes that from 2020 till whenever we are finishing this one, this is just our big A, which is crazy if you think about it, because we still need our B, we still need our C. But as good as this sounds like, it isn't, because the A is still ending in a C and we still need a pullback. So for this is the absolute big tracking. For the small tracking, or for the middle tracking, we have here our big higher low, but this is also our V. This whole thing, so from 2020 to 2022, this was just our A, with the A peak at January 2022. And then from October 2020 till April 2025, this was just our B. And right now, we are doing C. The question now is, did we already got our C peak or not? So, let's look at what we have done. So here the same, just on the 30-minute. Yeah, here was our V in April. This is just our higher low. This whole thing is our A. From August 2025 till October 2025, this was just our B. And now the big question, was October 2025 already our C? So yeah, again, bullish, and the bullish bearish and the absolutely bearish. For the bullish, so this was clearly our peak. This was our C. So October 2025 was our V, then higher low. This was our A. Here in the gap was our B. This was our little C. Then, now the tricky part. for bullish, somewhere in here is your lower high. So most likely this one, this here. Then you make a low. From here, you come up again with a lower low. This would be your M. Now you fall. And the stupid part would still be, you have to go, because this is M, you have to do a lower low. Because the M has to do a lower low. Okay, this would be the bullish bearish one. So, whatever you do, you have to go down here. You have to break 661. Then you come up again. This would be your T. And then you need another lower low. But for the bullish bearish part, you shouldn't, you are not allowed to drop under 651 because you still need the higher low. Bounce here, higher low, and then you go. This most likely will take you till Friday. So now the bullish version. The bullish version would mean this is your lower high. This here is your M. Here. Because lower than L low. You fall down, you're making a lower low. So this would be your T. Then you did a V and A perfectly to this. And then this whole shit here is just higher low. This whole thing is just higher low. And in that case, this whole thing here doesn't make sense, but it still works. This whole thing is still A. This whole thing would still be A. But for this, and that's absolutely clear, you shouldn't break or touch six. Yeah, touch you could, but you're not allowed to break this line here. This is an absolute no-no line because then you will drop to this and then it's going down. So you're not allowed to touch. So I mean, all in all, this would mean from tomorrow on, you just go. You just go. It would even make sense because if it's the bullish one, this is your V and A, so you have here your V. Then you have your little a here, your little b here, your little c here. Then lower high. This would be your M. Perfectly working with your B line. You dropped lower. You came up again. This was then your T. And then you made a lower low to this. So this really could be the V. And this here would be already your little higher low. If true, from tomorrow on, you should bounce. What are futures doing right now? Yeah, even futures right now are still holding this. So there is a chance that I was maybe just too early. But to be fair, still, I said this was the higher low. And it really looked like today in the morning. So I would still be, I lost this round. And sorry that the video was so late, but of course, on such a day, my fridge just died. Okay, so now for the bearish variant. Because the bearish variant would mean that this here was our C. And to say that, this would still be our big macro BA, but this would be our C. And I don't really know if I will say what I'm tending to, but that would mean that this here was our peak. This was just our lower high. So for this, we have to come lower to this. Most likely tomorrow we would come near this trend line, just a broadening wedge. Then we bounce up again. We will reject bit 665-ish. This would be your M. Then you have to do a lower low than whatever this bottom is. You come up again. This would be your T. And then you do your V&A. And the V&A would be 617. Then higher low. And for this, you still have the chance to break all-time highs and go ole. The only tricky part about this is, even if you do this, and even if you bounce here and make the high low, the important point will still be this trend line. Because it doesn't matter how long this takes. The important point, in my opinion, will be, are you able to break this trend line? Because if you're not breaking this trend line, let's say next week, for example, because even this should be finished on Friday. If you're not breaking this trend line here, this would be your big L. So this is just a tiny one. This would be a big L. And then we start with the even crazier wedge, where we say this here, this line, the 617 was our V&A just for this. But then we are looking for the V&A from this wedge. Then we're coming up again. If you're not breaking this trend line here, then again, this one, this would be your M. And then you start, even bigger V&A. This one. And this one, this is where your A is ending then. Here at 300, higher low, and then you're starting your B run. But to say that, this, if we're doing this shit, this move, that's not finished in 4 or 5 weeks. If we're getting really rejected at this trend line, so let's say we are doing this move for this week. If you get rejected this one, this is the market crash everyone is predicting, and this downside, as I always saying, will take 1 to 5 years. Just saying. So to what I lean to. Depends what I see tomorrow. I mean, obviously, if we bounce tomorrow and you're seeing this, perfect. I was too early, still wrong. But then we're still looking for our C. If we break 672, 662, I still think we will have 2 ways. The first one is we're doing this myth. This is our M, and this is our T, and we still have to go down here. I would say 646. 646 for the bounce, something 640. And then the only thing is you have to break this trend line. This is then absolutely important to break this. If so, perfect, and we can track bullish again. If you're doing this and till end of the week we reject here and going down, then the next years will be a really nice put play, because then the market is topped. Interesting part, because of this is Bitcoin. My target, we already V&A here. Perfect, 93. I said, I think I said, I don't know if I did it. 88 could be the V. So tonight we came close on 89. This could be it. If this is true. And it makes even sense because normally when you're doing your T, you have 4 shelves. What do I mean with 4 shelves? You have your T-top, you have first shelf, second shelf, third shelf, and this is your 4th shelf. Okay, maybe this here isn't the third shelf. Then this is the first, and you would still have to do one more. Then you really get your 80-80. But this could already be 4 shelves, and this could already be a V. So tomorrow or till tomorrow market open, you just do higher low, and then you just rip faces off. Because this is nearly finished. This is really nearly finished. If not, and if SPY is in its peak, then this would mean this was the top. And the next thing you will do is you look for this V&A. And most likely you will do something like this over the next 4 years. Same like SPY. Target would be here at 43. And all in all, this would still be just B. And your 0.5 pullback here is at 43,000. And again, this will take time. Yeah. Okay. So what are futures doing? Let's see what's happening tomorrow. But if we break this level here, at least the bullish variant is off the table. So will be an interesting day tomorrow. If you have questions, write it in the comments, please. If you want to see other stocks, please write me that in the other playlist, because this is only SPY. And if you liked it, even with this maybe bad futures, give me a like. See you next time.